Good afternoon and good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and coffee stream number 146. And it's a Friday guest day, and since it's a holiday, it's also a Blind and the Special coffee stream crossover. So say hello to Bloodwing and Pinkalo, everyone. How are you two?
Oh, doing good. Hey, y'all.
Yeah, I'm the special. Hello. I'm also exhausted from streaming for like 4 hours, however long the hell that was this morning.
Yeah.
I missed the blunt stream. I missed Monkey's stream. Yeah,
You
that was
missed
a long time.
You missed the blood stream.
Oh, I missed everything.
4
Oh, yeah,
hours.
so how you doing, Bloodwing? You having a great day? How's your Good Friday going?
Oh, not too bad. Just had a nice short little nap for about an hour, which I needed since I woke up way too early.
Oh no.
But yeah, doing good.
Good.
Yeah, we got to. At least I got to sleep in until 8 o'clock. Which, when you have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, that's sleeping in.
Oh, I know. Been there, done that a few times. We've raised 3 kids and now have 10 grandkids. So yeah, we tend to get there every couple of years.
Yeah. Chadwick Pinkalo was on Sir Adamantine's stream for a good chunk of the night.
It was an interesting. We got Pinoy talking about how much it would cost to have sex with an alien dog.
You got Tom Pino? Oh, I'm not at that part yet.
Oh no! Pinoy came on. Yeah, it was a very interesting long conversation stream. Whoops, sorry. Trying to bring up chat. But yeah, that was fun. Still sad I missed AP's stream. I hate missing that stream. Oh, and here's a neat little thing. If anybody wants to help out, 21 subs is where Blind Press is sitting away from for 500.
Yeah, there you go. Get on it, people. Don't make me have to pull the internet over, because I will.
Don't make me turn around.
But yeah, that was an interesting stream. Then Geek Thulu came on, and Uzi ran out of rum.
Why is the rum always gone?
That was a fun stream. That was a really fun stream. I will say that right now. But yeah, we're not here to talk about me. Talk to Bloodwing. Jeez.
So, how are you feeling, dude? I know you had your operation a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Healing pretty well.
Good.
Getting around a little better every day. Still a little ginger,
Yeah.
A little tender. But getting there. I haven't had guts enough to look at it yet. I don't do well with stuff like that.
You don't want to look at the incision just yet?
Oh, no. I have my wife change the bandage, because I can't look at it. And I accidentally caught a glimpse of it in the shower the other day, and it's not a small incision. Not a small one. It's about 5 inches, so yeah. But yeah, doing good.
Good. I'm glad. I'm very glad to hear that. So we've got what we do here when we have Friday guest day is we kind of mix between news and just talking about conversation and all that stuff. So Pinkalo found a news article that we thought you would really find amusing.
All right.
Wait, where am I?
It's
oh yeah.
This is from Canada. Which you're not. It kind of makes me ashamed to say that this is a Canadian article, but
don't be ashamed of anything. That's it. Okay.
Shall I present your?
You can, yeah. But first of all, let's just get Bloodwing.
Yeah.
For people in the chat, I know it's rare. What do you do every day or every couple days?
That's right. Tell us about your stream.
I have a small channel of about 1,200 subs, and every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 2:30 EST, I have a live stream called Redneck Radio, and it's usually me and Bear and a guest, irate bear, and a guest or two, and we laugh at the news or whatever other stupid thing that we can find.
And everyone, the link is in the description, actually, for Bloodwing's channel. So please go and visit the description and click on that link to go sub to Bloodwing if you're not subscribed already.
Yeah, and if you're not, why the heck not? What the heck's wrong with you people?
Exactly. All right, so go ahead and present. You can present me now.
Let's see if I can get this.
So, Bloodwing, I want you to think back to childhood and the games you used to play as a child.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know chasing dinosaurs with sticks was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But so we have Halton Region, which is Milton. It's just outside of Toronto. And this is quite interesting. I ran across this. Halton cops warn of risky, quote, assassin's game.
All right.
I told Blind I was going to do this dramatic intro on this, but I'm trying not to laugh while I do it because I can't help it, but I'm going to try. From the naked eye, it looked like a targeted assassination attempt. Witnesses saw one guy hiding behind a car in a mall parking lot, and the assassin looking for him. It didn't add up. A call was made to 911. Someone sane was about to be assassinated. They were right. It was what it looked like. Only this assassination attempt in the parking garage of Oakville Place Mall on April 10th was one where the intended victim would get to live.
Except...
Okay.
Anyway.
Like in the 1985 movie Gotcha, it was only a game. Halton Regional Police wisely issued a news release this week urging those playing to be careful. The Halton Regional Police Services is warning students about the dangers of participating in the Assassin's Game, read the release. Police are aware of an ongoing game taking place in Oakville which involves high school students hunting or assassinating one another with water or Nerf-style guns. The assassination often take place off school property, in public, and during the daytime.
Sissies, you ought to at least use paintball. I mean, contact sissies.
Gotcha was a cool ass game, says Chadwick. See?
Oh, Constable Ryan Anderson explains, on a number of occasions, observers unaware a game is being played have contacted police and that such incidences cause public distress and garner an elevated police response.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Some of the guns used have resembled the appearance of a real firearm.
I'm sorry. What kind of Nerf gun looks like a real gun?
I've never seen a Nerf gun that's black.
A water pistol, maybe. Yeah, Nerf guns, no.
I would say maybe with a very, very large underline. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I can't see, but I have a hard time imagining a water gun or a Nerf gun that would make someone go, "Oh my god!"
If they were shooting each other with like airsoft guns, because the older ones do kind of look like that, I'd kind of understand. But this is what I mean, though. This is just the fear-mongering gone to the extreme. I'll never forget when there was a guy on his own property in the middle of nowhere on a farm hunting gophers legally. Cops got called because a passerby saw a guy with a rifle in a yard on a farm.
Yeah.
This is
brilliant.
Yeah. There's no hope.
If you've ever lived on a farm, which I've done quite a bit of over in my day, you know that's not an uncommon sight.
I'm gonna go ask my uncle for her grandpa to be able to go hunt some deer this year up on his farm. So it's like these people don't get it. It's really funny. I had a Halloween costume one year where I put my pellet gun on my hip and I was dressed as a British police officer. Mm. So obviously factually inaccurate from the start there, but oh well.
Right. Because we all know that they're not armed. They don't have a license for that, mate.
Green Thunder says Nerf guns. Me and my friends used to shoot each other with BB guns. Kids today are so weak.
Oh. I was reading something where it was I can't remember what exactly it was, but the kid somehow there was a pellet gun and the kid tried to shoot another kid in the face with the pellet gun. It didn't go off. He then put the pellet gun in his mouth. Oh, it was a Reddit thing, and pulled the trigger and it shot himself in the mouth with the pellet gun, with the BB gun, because the one single BB fell into the chamber.
Right.
Because it was because the front load BB guns.
Gotcha.
You remember those ones?
Oh yeah,
I so if you lean it forward, nothing will shoot. But if you lean it back,
yeah, I grew up with a Daisy BB gun.
Yeah,
old, basic, very basic Daisy lever action. But this sounds like stupidity in action, though. You don't put a BB gun in your mouth.
No.
Because they can hurt. They can actually penetrate skin.
It went through the guy's tongue and through his uvula. I'm just thinking he can whistle very well now. He doesn't need a straw.
Chadwick says my son in a couple of weeks, my son's school is having a Nerf war. They're supplying all the guns and all the bullets.
Oh, that's awesome.
That sounds like an awesome school. I want to go to that school.
Yeah, let's move there.
Michigan?
Oh, never mind.
I was gonna say, you want to move to Michigan?
No, I thought of that once. No, when I lived down there, that was going to be place number 5 I moved to. But no.
I like where at the end of that article says the velocity. Well, I can't read it.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, the velocity of the foam bullet is powerful, but not likely to hurt anybody.
Powerful.
But how would a person know for sure?
I wouldn't exactly call a Nerf gun powerful.
I remember in the old commercials, it used to show the Nerf. A kid from the hallway down the hall was able to shoot a Nerf pistol and turn off a light switch.
Never, ever happened.
I tried that so many times. It was I hit the light switch, but it never worked.
Yeah, they're not the most accurate of
no, and if you get a little bend in them, they're useless.
Yep.
So let's see here. Oh, it goes on. At a recent Toronto News press conference, Deputy Chief Jim Raymer showed off guns of all sizes and colors, some that look like toys. The problem is, at a quick glance, it is difficult to tell. We don't want to take away from the kids having fun, but we felt a warning was necessary because it could end up being dangerous.
We don't want to take away from the kids having fun, but we did anyway.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. If they were using some guns that looked real, I get it. I get that. There's a reason that, at least I don't know how it is there, but I know here where I live in America, toy guns often have like an orange piece stuck on the end of the barrel, so that that's a toy.
Same up here. It's always been like that. I was one of the kids that used to either figure out a way to get the thing off or spray paint it.
Right, exactly.
We all did that.
But if it looks real, I get it. It's a little dangerous to run around with a real looking gun pointing it at people. But there's not a Nerf gun in the world that, I mean, come on, how many real guns do you know that are neon green and orange?
Just
shoot
nothing commercial, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Sometimes played with rubber or foam bullets. Rubber bullets? Who's shooting rubber bullets besides cops? Or even with water
They must
guns?
be talking about airsoft.
Oh, okay. Those aren't even okay. The assassin game is played by groups of kids at school who hunt targets. I thought toy guns weren't allowed at schools.
They're not.
I remember getting suspended 20 years ago for having a pellet or the toy guns at school.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have
anything.
Toy guns or toy swords or...
Yeah, these days they're not. Now, when I was a kid, it was not uncommon for people to bring their guns with them to school so they go hunting afterwards. Or they went hunting before school and didn't have time to, so they bring with them. They wouldn't bring them in the building, leave them out in their cars or what have you. But
yeah. this is this is high school students doing this too. That's the funny part. It's like, okay, so encourage them more. Say, go to the woods and do this.
Yeah. So this is basically just an oversized game of cops and robbers.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. The Sasuke who hunt targets from a list until the last person standing wins the game. That's generally how that game works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next? No animal survival?
But things can go too far. My son was in one of these games, and we had kids outside of our house in the bushes waiting to get him. It was scary because some of them actually tried to get into the house.
Okay. On Earth, children sometimes go inside other children's homes.
Not wise, says Anderson. That could result in police getting a gun call. Halton police have sent their news release to local schools to remind the kids it's better to not play this kind of game on public property because we don't want anybody to get hurt. Yeah, but that lady was just complaining about having it done on private property too. So what then?
Chadwick just said they need a designated space just like paintball. That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, these people just need to stop crying like that.
Yeah, I'm like, do you remember when we used to play? We'd run around and hide in the bushes in somebody's yard, and
we played for 10 or 12 different houses. Like,
yeah,
you don't just go to one house. You're neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
We don't have that here anymore.
Nope.
Like even outside, like no kids come running through our yards. The shitheads do, but that's different.
And any game with the word assassin in the title certainly is prone to have some. What?
Oh, there is no crime committed. The situation at Oakville Place worked out okay because the teenagers told police they were what they were doing and were let go. There was no crime committed, said Anderson, but the teens were reminded of the risks. And any game that has the word assassins in the title is certainly prone to have some risks.
Okay.
Oh, I wonder if my audio is going to work. Oh, come on, ad? Seriously?
It's not playing anyway.
Is it not? No? Damn.
No.
Oh, voice meter, you hate me so much. Why?
Because tech hates you.
It does. It really does. I was trying to do a soundboard trying to do soundboard with the other guys and just not working. Because yeah, we got into talking about we got talking about the old Chaos 120 drama. Also.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was we ended up going through some of those videos. That was just too evil. Oh, but anyway, let's go here. So yeah, so that's the wonderful that's the one of the fear-mongering articles. I thought you'd like that one because it's just think back to when we were kids. We used to run around with all those guns and shoot each other and nobody cared.
They would have had a fit if they seen when I was a kid because we didn't play with airsoft or Nerf. We played with real BB guns. That way there was no question if you got hit.
No.
Yep.
Exactly. It's not like they were pellets. Pellets are worse.
Which was pretty stupid. I mean, come on, BB gun, you can't put an eye out or something like that, but that's what we did.
You'll shoot your eye out.
How many cases of that actually happened when you were growing up?
I have no idea. I know I had a cousin that did get a BB embedded in his toe. Well, they removed it, but it got embedded in his toe because somebody shot him in the foot. But
yeah, but the you'll shoot your eye out thing. I've always been ever since A Christmas Story. I've always wondered, has that actually ever happened?
I'm sure it has happened like once or twice, but I don't think it would happen in nearly as much as they say it does.
No, but the potential is there.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that could have been the start to the fearing of the gun control thing?
No.
No?
It's more likely that somebody else will shoot you in the eye with your own gun, like, oh hey, can I see that? And then like, oh, oops, I accidentally shot you in the face. But like, other than you'll shoot your, especially with, because he wanted a rifle, right?
It was a Daisy Red Ryder BB gun. It's the one we have at the cottage.
Yeah. How are you supposed to shoot yourself in the eye with that?
Well, ricochet, because that's actually what happened to him in the end when he was shooting the sign. He shot the sign, it ricocheted, and it hit his glasses.
That's true.
Because that's just Ralph's shit luck.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is one that caught my eye. The man with 2 full gas cans arrested after entering St. Patrick's Cathedral. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I seen it on Twitter.
Did you read about it?
I don't recall.
I haven't read it yet.
It's a little bit screwed up. I heard a little bit of it on a stream last night, but they didn't really go into it very much. So
I think I perused it. I didn't actually read every word of it.
No,
I just kind of glanced it over.
The guy's a dumbass.
This is kind of interesting because let's see. Like, here's the picture of what he had. So he had 2. What are those? 5 gallons, and then 2 jugs of barbecue fluid.
Yeah.
So two barbecue fluids and 2 barbecue lighters.
So he had 2 5-gallon jugs of gas, 2
jugs of charcoal fluid.
Okay.
Like the stuff the shitty stuff I used to use before I started using rubbing alcohol.
Right.
And then 2 of the barbecue lighters.
Okay.
So interesting. So let's see here.
Just someone's daily arsenal when they go out walking, you know.
Well, that's the thing, right? So a 37. So this is from the 17th. There's actually an update that we're going to read after because because it turns out it's flabbergasting when I read it. Yeah. They did an update this morning on it, but where'd the article go? Where'd it go? Oh shit! No.
What happened? Did you hit a paywall?
Yes.
Here,
what the fuck?
Do you want me to stop presenting and try and
No. I'm just going to read the update. Screw it. Okay, good. So you heard about it, right? So it turns out, so it said in the other one that he was, is it saying here? Okay. So, man arrested with gas cans and lighters at St. Patrick's Cathedral is a philosophy teacher.
Imagine my shock.
What is it with philosophy people? Why are they so fucking stupid?
Look at the guy. Mark Lampareo, 37, was also arrested on Monday at a cathedral in New Jersey and had just bought a one-way ticket to Rome.
What the
This is kind of odd. Mark Lamparello's story seemed off from the start. It was nearly 8 p.m. on Wednesday when Mr. Lamparello, a 37-year-old graduate student and lecturer on philosophy, entered St. Patrick's Cathedral in Midtown Manhattan, toting 2 gas cans, lighter fluid, and lighters. You don't walk into a church with that. No normal person does that.
His van was out of gas, I think.
Hours before, he had purchased a $2,800 one-way plane ticket to Rome, which was set to depart the next day. Mr. Lamparello was about 20 feet into the church when ushers approached him and said he could not be inside the building with the cans of gasoline, the police said. He explained that he was trying to take a shortcut through the iconic structure to reach his van, which he claimed had run out of gas.
Yeah.
Mr. Lamparello's gold minivan, though, turned out not to be out of fuel, the police said, and a stroll through St. Patrick's was hardly a shortcut. No shit.
Yeah.
Denied entry, Mr. Lamparello left the sanctuary, sloshing gasoline on the floor as he went. He was stopped outside the church by police officers who noticed the twin gas cans. The incident came just before Easter and 2 days after a devastating fire tore through the Cathedral of Notre Dame. Don't do that.
Which was also I am really leaning towards what? I was gonna say I'm leaning towards accident for the Notre Dame, but the French government needs to be super transparent with their investigation.
You're asking France to be transparent.
Well,
that's asking a lot.
France. It's France. They're the most likely to be transparent by accident, even just because they're so freaking friends.
This is chestnuts are roasting here. Mr. Lamparello, who has addresses in New Jersey and in Brooklyn, was taken into custody Wednesday night and questioned by detectives, including officers from the police department's intelligence division and the Joint Terrorism Task Force. He was being held on charges of attempted arson and reckless endangerment. But on Thursday afternoon, he was transported from Midtown North to Bellevue Hospital, for a psychiatric evaluation.
Oh, of course.
And it remained unclear when he would appear in court. It was the second church-related arrest this week for Mr. Lamparello. On Monday night, he was arrested inside Newark's Sacred Heart Cathedral after he refused to leave the sanctuary. He told officers the church was a house of God and should be open to all hours before throwing himself onto the floor and vowing to stay.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
What is with this dude?
I'm just picturing, I am seriously just picturing this guy on the floor on his back like a 5-year-old. I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
You must let me stay.
Oh, this is bad.
What did he think was going to happen? I mean, we're 2 days after a huge news that made or a huge fire that made international news. Was very heavy on a lot of people's mind, and he walks into a church with 2 gas cans and other sort of paraphernalia. What do you think was going to happen?
It's going to be called a social experiment. Watch. I was doing it to teach my students something.
Yeah. This was a philosophical experiment.
Said, quote, "If you want to leave, you'll have to take me out in handcuffs."
Okay, fine.
Armando Fortura, the Essex County Sheriff, said he described Mr. Lamparello as very respectful, if obstinate.
How can you be respectful and obstinate at the same time?
Pardon me, sir, but you're an asshole.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I'm not doing anything that you asked me to. Like, how can you be respectfully obstinate? That seems kind of like an oxymoron to me.
Oh. Mr. Lamparello was taken to a police station that evening and charged with resisting arrest, defiant trespassing, and interfering with the administration of law. Can't stupid be a charge yet? Can we please make stupid a charge?
Yeah.
That would solve so many problems.
If only.
He was evaluated by emergency medical technicians who found nothing wrong with him. Sheriff Fortura said his mother escorted him that night from the precinct to his parents' house in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. It remains unclear what may have driven Mr. Lamparello to go into St. Patrick's Cathedral on Wednesday. Police officials would not say what, if any, motive he disclosed to officers.
Like, is he schizophrenic or something?
I don't know. I have no idea. Like, this is one of those weird cases. Like, are they trying to keep it that way, or are they? Because now is where you also get into. Okay, so it was 2 churches now that this happened at.
And there's like apparently a lot of churches burning around, like Catholic churches burning around Europe.
Yeah, there's a lot of
and like that mosque in Jerusalem.
If one were to say the Crusades have come up again, should it really be considered a wrong thing to say?
No.
It seems that way. It's just it's 5 years ago I brought this up in a couple conversations, and it was the same kind of a thing. It was, why does it seem like we're about to get back into this weird battle between the religions? And then suddenly now it's been driven through with the identity politics.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been the spear that's been thrust into all of this. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think?
Well, when I was listening, the first thought in my mind, any philosophy person, major or nut or whatever,
Oh, get this.
that I've ever run into seem to they all seem to be a little off.
My mother is right there. She has a master's degree in philosophy, and you would think that, being trained to think and analyze and debate things like philosophy majors are, that she would be proud of me for thinking for myself. But no, anything I say that's anything right of freaking Stalin, I am just exhibiting cognitive dissonance, and I'm being, brainwashed by right-wing extremists, and it's like, what? Why?
Yeah. They always seemed a little off to me, and I think maybe it's because they never settle on any one thing. They're always debating all the different possibilities, but never settle on anything. It's
Well, it's like I was saying in your chat the other day. Look at the Atheist Plus movement. Like when
yeah.
they went, because when they went and they decided to, like when the anti-SJW crowd was originally just the anti-theist crowd, or the
Right.
septic community, as we all were once a part of. When that first split and the Atheist Plus people went and fucked off to where they belong in that little hole, and they all started having their little hug box and their little inner conversations about how those guys over there are all evil right-wing people and we should never speak to them again. Those people.
Right.
It's that first split. It was weird to watch. You can see where, if you go back to the pattern, you can kind of see where that it started to grow and started to split off into what we have now, which is the anti-theists, but they want to defend the theists, to the point where we're in this weird draconian circle. It's the only thing I could think of.
Every side is eating itself right now.
Yeah. Why? I don't get it.
The human element.
Yep.
It always comes to that.
But the human element, it should have been to survive it and expand like we were doing for the last 1,000 years.
Right.
And in 10 years, in just a simple 10-year span, that's all been about to be wiped out.
Well, look what happened just before the Renaissance. We go through these periods.
What was before the Renaissance? The Enlightenment?
No, that was after the Renaissance.
Okay.
But the Reformation, before the Renaissance, there was a lot of shit that went down. There was the Spanish Inquisition. There was the deal between the Lutherans and the Catholics in Germany. And even at the beginning of the Renaissance, there was, the Pope and Galileo fighting over the heliocentric versus geocentric model. There's always going to be cycles of growth, and then when we get to a certain point, we have another cycle of we start eating each other before, and we go through this period of utter chaos, and then we end up growing again for another few hundred years, and then we have another cycle of chaos, and then it's like a growing pain, if you will.
I think a lot of it, and stick with me on this. I blame a lot of it back to when I was a little kid, and there was a fellow called Dr. Spock that was big in people's consciousness. He was one of the big proponents that was pushing, we can't hurt our kids, their confidence, and it was the start of never telling your children no.
Yes,
that's what it was.
My grandfather rages at Dr. Spock.
And now we've had an entire generation who, for the better part, have never been told no. I mean, we have participation trophies and all that stuff, and kids don't know what it is to fail,
No, they
which
don't.
is an important lesson in life. And so now what we're seeing is people that have, they honestly believe that if I don't agree with you, it's okay to be violent.
Yeah.
It's okay to violent extremes, and yes, it's okay to disagree. I am a firm believer in that. In
Yes.
fact, I cannot think of any creator in this genre that I completely 100% agree with.
Yeah.
You can't, because nobody can 100% agree on anything. You have to have differences. That's what makes us the unique individuals we truly are.
I mean, you all know that I'm big friends with Irate Bear.
Yeah.
Oh, you should hear the arguments we've had on Discord. Oh my gosh. I've made him so mad that he'll just rage quit the room for 10-15 minutes and then come back later and say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Monkey, Randy Monkey, and I are very good friends. And I've actually made videos disagreeing with his point of view a couple of times.
Monkey and Polydub are another great example. They're friends, but look at how they debate.
But my first reaction to not agreeing with someone is not being violent.
No. Or name calling. Like the thing that, and for anecdotal purposes, the thing that my mother loves to do is play the racist card.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, it's interesting. It really is. To get called, she's called me a racist a few times because of my jokes.
She's also insisted it's really amusing. She's been guilty of calling Pincalo a straight white male when he's not white.
It took her a while to realize that.
Yeah.
Because when you have to explain where Armenia is and what the people are there, and then you have to explain what an Azorean is and what the people are there, and difference to being a Portuguese.
I, of course, have been called racist. You can't make content as long as I have in this genre without being called racist at least a few times.
You just hear your voice.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. That's living in the South.
I know. And I've talked about that before. People hear a redneck accent and they immediately think, oh, cracker.
Oh, yeah.
He's a racist cracker, which is not true. Do I have relatives that are extremely racist? Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah. I do. But by and large, the majority of rednecks that I'm associated with in my 59 years are not. They're pretty much like, yeah, well, we're all people. You do what you do. I do what I do. And we'll all get along.
Yeah.
True rednecks are really a very laid back people. They're like, yeah, well, I don't care. Yeah. Here, hold my beer.
It's like the old argument of a hillbilly, a hick, and a redneck.
Yeah.
People don't understand that there is a difference between them. Hicks and the sticks can be majorly racist and wear big hoods.
Yeah. But I get, I've been called that. And my usual response is, well, I guess my 8 biracial grandchildren, 8 out of 10 that are biracial, would be glad to know that.
Yeah.
I better tell them because they might want to know that their papa is a huge racist.
Yeah. A large portion of my dad's family is Bahamian. Yeah. So they're like all black.
Yeah.
This is like an aunt and her kids. My grandma was not a good woman. She traveled a lot.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word.
I never see her and she doesn't have the internet. They live on an island.
Yeah. Well, my grandma, my mammy, when I'm talking about my redneck side of the family, it's Mammy and Papa. When I'm talking about my mom's side of the family, who were Hoosiers, that's Grandma and Grandpa. But my mammy was terribly racist, but she was passively so. She didn't mean to be. It was just the way she was raised. She wasn't mean about it, or it was just she honestly believed the things that those that were older than her taught her about the other races.
Right.
And I used to like, Mammy, no, sweetheart, no.
It's also one of those questions.
No.
Like, you have to ask yourself, some of these people, the backwoods people.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe I stuttered that. Some of them you have to ask, when was the first time a lot of these people ever saw a black person? That's a legit question.
Well, I grew up in the city, and I will guarantee you that I was probably pretty close to a preteen before I seen one outside of the TV set.
And that's what I mean. It's you have to look at it that way. It's some of these people back then, like now it's different. The 2019,
Yeah.
we're not talking now. We're talking 40, 50, 60 years ago or more.
Yeah.
We're talking to where it wasn't as wide, like they hadn't spread out as much without sounding terrible. I'm trying to figure out how to make it not sound so bad, but no matter how you spin this conversation,
I
it's going to
get
sound
you.
bad.
Before
The races
desegregation?
were far more segregated in that
Yeah.
day than they were now. You had your white areas, you had your black areas, you had your Hispanic areas,
Yeah.
and they did not mix.
Never the twain shall meet.
Yeah.
Like think of the suburban white kids in the right before desegregation that had never seen a black kid until they were like 15.
Yeah.
They did exist.
Mm.
So it's a cultural shock. It's just like now. I don't know where we're going with this.
I don't know.
I most of my family are not only rednecks, but they're also hillbillies in Kentucky. And it just wasn't black people. And there were black people in the small towns where I'm from.
Yeah.
Handfuls of them. It wasn't just black people they were wary of. They're wary of everybody.
Right.
Like
any outsider's not welcome.
Yeah, like they're friendly enough. I mean, if you come from a city like I do, and you go driving through there, it's odd getting used to everybody waves. I'm serious. You drive down the road.
True.
You drive down the road, and every car that meets you sticks a hand out the window and waves as they're going by. Hey.
Now they stick their hand out the window for a different reason.
Yeah. Now they're giving you the one finger salute. Usually,
it's kind of the same way here. I was talking to a friend of mine who moved from around here to Toronto for a while, and his sister gave him shit for saying hi to people while they were walking down the street at night, because she's like, this isn't the small town. You don't know who you're talking to. You don't know what's gonna happen to you. What do you do? Like it's just a big difference between between here and
I'm kind of a mix between the two. I'm a joker. I'll talk to anybody. I'll joke with everybody, and usually that turns out all right. Now, once in a while, you hit that sourpuss. Like, what was it? Wednesday, I had to go see us. It's no secret to those of you that know me. I'm trying to get disability, so I'm jumping through hoops for the SSA, the Social Security Administration. Is what I'm doing. And I had to go see a psychiatrist, which was in downtown Indianapolis. Now, Indianapolis is no New York City, but it's a city of about 1 million people.
Right.
And downtown, oh God, I hate it. Oh, I hate it with a passion. But I get downtown, and I'm in this 10-story building, and I'm on my way down, and they've got a security guard right there as you get off the elevators.
Mm-hmm.
A uniformed security guard, And I just looked at her, and I made some joke. I think it was something about how far it was to the door. It's a long way. And she just looked at me like, yeah, and,
Yeah.
But most people will smile and joke back. And you get those sourpusses once in a while. I couldn't stand it if I lived in somewhere like New York, where they have the reputation of just being rude all the time. No.
Yeah. Jack, what are you talking about? He's like, you're doing well on YouTube when people are mocking you, but hopefully not getting internet. What?
Inception of watching someone you follow mocking you.
I'm confused. Jack, what does that mean? That was random, dude.
I know there's a different stream going on right now, but they weren't watching us.
I don't know why they would. I'm always amazed at how many people want to watch and listen to me anyway. I'm just a dumb old redneck.
You're actually great. I enjoy listening to you when I'm on the road. You're my afternoon show.
Yeah, well, thank you.
I go P-Dog, then I go
I still
Blind,
don't
then I
get
go
it,
for you.
Well, you and Bear play well off each other.
I think so. Yes, I think so. Yeah,
it's great. It's an awesome thing to do. Like, this has been interesting. Like, this has helped my conversation. Like, that's the whole thing. It's nice to have a conversation with people and not be called a racist or all these other stupid things.
Yeah.
You should see the looks you get from some receptionists when you walk up and you're laughing about something. They say, "What's so funny?" And you have to think and go, "Is it going to offend this person if I tell them?"
Well, is it worth explaining?
Yeah. Well, I like, remember that I told you about the one. I told a joke because I was laughing. I walked in because I had realized, I just came to a rationalization that Tacoma, about something about my friends, and I told her. She goes, "So what's so funny?" I go, "I don't know how you're gonna feel if I tell you. It's just something that's kind of funny about a bunch of friends I used to hang out with in California." She goes, "Oh, come on, it'll be funny." Okay, well, I had friends in high school. They were all Mexicans. Yeah, well, they all drove Toyota Tacomas, and the joke is a Tacoma is nicknamed a taco.
Yeah.
So all my Mexican friends drove tacos.
All right.
And I just thought it was funny.
That is funny.
And she kind of looked at me and never spoke to me again after that.
During all this SSA thing, I've done a lot of interviews with a lot of different people and filled out forms, and you know how it gets. Bureaucracy, man. Bureaucracy, isn't it great? But I often get to ask the question, do you work? No, I haven't been able to work for 4 years. So what do you do in your spare time? Well, I run a small YouTube channel. Oh yeah? What's it about? That's when I have to pause, look them over up and down real quick, try to get a quick assessment of them and say, you probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
When it comes to when I know that they won't like it, I go, just social commentary stuff.
Yeah. I just talk about the news and tell a few jokes. You probably wouldn't like it.
I've had 2 ask for Blind's channel after I said I don't think it's for you, and they're like, and I kind of explain it, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm down for that." The one I told you about, there's 2 of them, and one goes, "No, I love offensive stuff. I love watching that stuff. I love listening to people talk about that stuff. It's awesome." I'm like, "Oh well, here's her channel. Go take a look."
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and maybe those girls are listening. You probably know who I am now. That's the thing. It's interesting. But no, Bloodwing, you doing this? It's awesome to watch how far you've climbed and how fast.
Well, fast in the last little bit.
Yeah.
I've been doing this now for about 2.5 years. I started 2 years ago last October. Actually, Granny Monkey and I started a week apart. He grew much faster than I did, but he got that bearing bump,
Yeah.
Which I didn't. But yeah, for the longest time, I hovered around 600-700 subscribers for a long time. And then a couple of months ago, however long ago it's been since I've started my live stream, Bear and Dax Orion and some others talked me into doing the live stream. Said, "Here, you should do it, and you should have Streamlabs and have people donate." And like, I don't know about that, man. I'm not comfortable with that, but I'll do it. But yeah, people seem to like it because I almost immediately went from around 700 to now I'm at 1,200 and steadily climbing. So,
and that's awesome.
Yeah, it took a while for people to find out. I've often said that I'm one of this genre's best kept secrets because all the big boys, or most of them, are aware of me. They know me. They know my name. It gets recognition with them.
Yeah.
I've talked with Undoomed. I've talked with Bearing. I've tweeted with Sargon.
I spoke with Baron once.
I
It'll
have a
never
couple
be aired
times.
again. Fucking monkey. Bastard.
I have a
That was
couple
the
of times.
greatest conversation ever. The other day, the other monkey in the morning, I got on and Baron showed up, and then Monkey saved 5 seconds of it instead of deleting 5 seconds.
Yeah, saved the 5 seconds he wanted to get rid of, and lost everything else.
Drunk Baron on meth and what was it? The meth and what did he call it? The meth and speed version of NyQuil.
Oh,
it was great.
See, I can't take NyQuil. It actually has the exact opposite effect on me as what it has on most people. It makes me very nervous, and my heart will beat just right out of my chest.
But it was the story he told of how he acquired said meth and speed quadriquil.
Yes.
If anybody in the chat was there, they'll know. But
the driver's license version says
yes, the
Jabra.
driver's license version of NyQuil.
But I've talked with a lot of the bigger quote unquote channels in our genre. Due to Jeff Holiday, and I know he's not popular now, but back in the day,
he's
Kraut was
there.
Kraut.
Oh, I thought you meant Jeff Holiday. Sorry.
Yeah. I've talked with almost all the bigger guys, and they're aware of who I am. I just never got that bearing bump, so
that sucks.
So yeah, I like to say that I'm the best secret of this genre.
Well, let's see. Well, hopefully you can get out there more. It'd be great. But the nice thing is, we'll all grow. You guys are going to grow well.
Yeah. Your name not found. I just threw his name out there as people I talk to. You make of that what you will.
No, that's the thing.
We're not going to go there today.
It's been great. Like, yeah. Next story. Ilhan Omar.
Oh,
how do you feel about this wonderful woman?
You know how I feel. You've listened to my live stream. She's a freaking idiot. But I will be, and I know you're going to be shocked at this, but the old man has to go tinkle.
Oh, who had the bet?
you go Bloodwing.
And I will be right back.
Okay.
But yeah, so the this was actually, this is going great. Let's see here. So this morning, this morning I was stuck on a stream and Geek Thulu was there and Irate Prostate and Outlaw Bear Dog. That was interesting. Yeah, I am ill prepared now for dead air.
Would you like, I was gonna say, would you like to, or do you want to wait till Bloodwing gets back for the article?
I'm gonna wait for Bloodwing. That's just rude. You never do that. That's just rude to do. Why do you want to do that? What are you doing? Let's see here.
Love Bloodwing's straightforward approach, says Skeptalk. Hi, Skep. How's the puppy doing?
There's a good question. Let's see here. Let's go to the Twitter trending page for a minute.
Geek is probably killing whatever seconds of a career he has left, says name not found.
I don't even know what to do on that one, but that was
read chat, says Skeptalk. That's what we should do. Yes, is what
read chat. What is chat? That's a good call. Let's see here. It's Friday. I'm not used to this.
Much better, says Skep. Oh, good. I'm glad your puppy's doing.
Cousin and no one ever finds out, or not have sex with your cousin and everyone thinks you did.
I would rather not have sex with my cousin and everyone thinks that I did.
Can't comment. Geek is currently killing whatever semblance of a career he had. That's fine. To everyone their own. I will admit it was actually kind of an interesting stream to be on and then have him pop in. And then just the conversation. It was a good conversation.
Says it's a trash fire. Uh-oh.
What is?
Are you listening to both streams there, Hawk Silk, to see what's going on, or do you mean his career or the stream?
I don't know. This is the thing.
Anyway.
Alternate reality where somebody actually did dox him just to see his reaction. Because he would be crying so fucking much.
Wait.
But my privacy. But my privacy. And Brooklyn writing dox. Black.
No, let's not.
Okay, no, that's all it is. That's just them being them.
Let them be them.
What was this?
That was COG, or that was Geek Thulu's stream.
Oh,
yeah.
No, they were saying that something's going on. I just wanted to see real quick, but nothing important.
Name Not Found says, I'm listening to both. I had to come here because theirs was awful. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming here instead.
Feel free to come by.
We will try not to be awful.
I'm going to try not to, but we're going to be awful right now because we're going to talk about Ilya and Omar.
Yeah.
Would you rather marry your brother and would you rather marry your brother and not marry... Wait, sorry. My screen reader's being a dick.
You're terrible.
I'm going too fast.
Hold on. Would you rather marry your brother or not marry your brother and have everybody think you did? Ilya and Omar did marry her brother and everyone knows she did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. So Bloodwing, are you nice and empty now?
I am for the minute, and I'm actually trying to refill because I stopped for a coffee on the way back.
I wish I had more coffee.
Well, would you like me to go make some while you read the article?
Sure.
Or do you not want me to go make?
Nah, you can stay.
Okay.
You could just have to make up for it after the stream.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, is it your birthday, blind girl? Wait a minute, I'm sorry, but somebody is it your birthday?
It is blind girl's birthday today.
Oh, well.
Well, I'm not going to steal Monkey's shtick. They can do that tonight.
Yeah. Nobody wants me to sing.
Well, no, it's not that. It's not that. I was going to. I really was. I was thinking about it. But then I realized that I don't want to be that guy. I don't like to be that guy. If you want to sing to her, you may sing to her, and we shall choral along with you. Would you like to do that, Bloodwing? It's your day.
Not going to. We're not going to do that. Stealing Monkey's shtick.
Nah. I'll just tell her happy birthday, and then I'll break all the taboos and ask her how old she is. Because I'm an old guy, and I can get away with that.
Hawk Silk says, I agree, ignore it, but he's never going to learn. Well, that's fine.
And I like that. She totally ignored me. Nice tactic.
Yep. says blind girl.
33. Or those boobs.
Oh, you're still just a puppy.
Just a puppy. I'm going to be 30 in July.
Just a puppy. Just a puppy. My oldest son is older than that. He's 35.
Sing.
Nope. To get her to sing, that costs some shekels.
Yes.
She'll sing if you pay her.
Singing and dancing costs money unless Alex is here to yell at me to sing into my microphone, which he is not.
Yes, we kicked them out of the house for the day. That was actually easier than
happy birthday to your daughters too. She says it's their daughter's birthday.
Awesome.
Happy birthday.
I was almost 40 when these children were born.
I know, right, Scappy?
That's all you need.
I know. I wasn't quite as old as you are, but I was, yeah. I was much closer to 30 than I was 20. I'll tell you that.
At least we're not. You know what though? The nice thing is we're the ones that got away without being caught in perpetual childhood. That most of our constituents
you don't have to pay for a birthday song. Somebody else said for me to sing. So if they want me to sing, they have to pay.
Seriously?
Silly person.
Just for that, yeah, you got to pay for your own damn song. It's twice as much as it was before, damn it.
Silly. What a silly person. Anyway.
All right. So, Ilhan Omar, everyone's favorite local politician next to AOC. Wait, no, who is more disliked? I want to see a poll on that.
I am not sure.
I would
think
really
it might
like to
be
see a poll.
Omar at the moment, but it kind of goes back and forth. They get neck and neck.
Yeah, they do.
It just depends on who said what on what day. And then you've got the third one in there. What's her name?
Talib?
Yeah, Talib.
Talib. Oh, the impeached motherfucker person, right? Rashid.
Yeah, and
Talib
she
Rashid.
gets in there every once in a while. Seems like Omar and AOC steal the spotlight from her a little more often, but yeah, they all take their turns.
My turn to disappear for a moment, folks. Sorry, hold on a second.
Okay.
Can you hold down the fort for a moment?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Hey, mouse, stop being funky.
Funky mice.
Funky
Scotty Jesso says Omar is a tranny, and AOC is a tranny too. If you mean trans intelligent, then yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
I
think they tit for tat. It just depends on what day you're checking the news on which one is more hated.
Well, that ridiculousness with that that town hall, I guess, that AOC did with all of those black people, and she just started speaking like
trying to talk like she was black.
And then going and saying, I'm from the Bronx. That's how I always talk. It's like, bitch, no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Just don't.
Yeah. You're not fooling anyone, you know.
Yeah. Twit for twat, says Skeptalk. Yeah, exactly. Boop. Twit for twat.
Oop, wrong page. And I'm back. Hello, folks.
Hello.
I couldn't breathe. All right.
You couldn't breathe, huh?
Yeah, I needed to lubricate the throat. Doing the voices is not good for the throat if you don't have the right lubrication. It does not help. It does not make things very easy. Ilhan Omar is in trouble again. In February, one of her tweets ignited accusations of anti-Semitism for implying well-funded Jewish lobbying was behind support for Israel. This time, the Somali-born Democrat congresswoman, speaking at a meeting of the Council of American Islamic Relations, CARE, appeared to downplay the horror of 9/11 by saying, euphemistically, some people did something. What a stupid line. That angered me.
And then not knowing that CARE was founded 7 years before she said it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was also pretty sad.
Yeah, she claimed that CARE was founded after 9/11, when it was actually 1994.
Mm-hmm.
How old is this woman?
She's
I'm actually quite... It sounds like a silly question.
She is either the same age as or like a year older than AOC, I believe.
Yeah, she's pretty close.
She's 37.
Oh, shit. So she's a lot older
so she's
than AOC.
No way the fuck better.
Well, I don't think she was even in this country when 9/11 happened. I think at worst, she's an America hater. I mean, I think at worst, and at best, she's incredibly tone deaf and not able to see what's around her.
She came here in 92.
Yeah, well, she was here, so.
Skep says she is so smug in her anti-Semitism, cunt.
Okay, so she's been here since she was 11.
Oh, fuck. Skep says, so for the constitutional amendment, Omar can be president. Yeah, she can, because she's over 35, right?
But she's not a U.S. born.
Well, he says with a constitutional amendment.
Oh, right. But would they be able to do that? I thought that was one that they made was unamendable, or is everything amendable?
I don't know that it ever would pass. You know,
They
if
would,
it ever
yeah.
got brought up, but
I don't think it would pass either.
That part I never learned about in the high school civics.
yeah, I doubt that would ever pass all the way through. I mean,
That would be interesting. I mean, church. In all honesty, the thing that did open that up was the argument over the birther thing. As much as a fraud that was, a sham that was, but I mean,
Skep says no such thing being color. They're all amendable.
Okay, see, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that part out. I never could figure that out. It's just like the whole argument that Sinatra puts up over the Second Amendment, how he always frets on the "shall not be infringed" part of that of the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
Can't that be ratified and changed regardless if there's enough of a majority opposed to it?
Well, and that's why you get so many on the left that are trying to do that.
That's okay. That's why I was
it's
right.
Just
okay.
that
Because
America, by and large, holds our First and Second Amendment rights with such sanctity that it's next to impossible that it would ever happen.
Yeah,
Not
but without the second,
impossible,
you
but
can't
next
defend
to
the first, and if they take away the second, then they
I
can
don't
take away
think
the
you
first.
can amend an amendment. I think you have to add on another amendment. Is what is that what you're asking? Can you amend an amendment?
with
No,
the Second Amendment, for
I
instance,
don't
can
think
it
so.
be changed?
I think you have to add another amendment to the Constitution.
I think what she means is, like, for instance, with prohibition, when they outlawed alcohol.
Yeah.
And in order to change that back, then yes, they had to come out with a new amendment, the 21st.
Yeah.
In order to say, well, it's no longer illegal.
Yeah. So if they wanted to take away the Second Amendment, they would have to add another amendment to the Constitution saying now you no longer have the right to bear arms or some stupidity.
So it would be an amendment that nullifies the second.
Correct.
Okay, there we go. That's yay! I learned something. Yay!
Yay! I taught something that's not even my country's politics. Woohoo!
Skep talk. I suggested it to the founders that they make their new constitution thingy, as Jefferson used to call it, amendable.
Yeah. Skep's the only one here older than me.
In case things got different in the future. So where's dirt lie between you two somewhere?
Somewhere. I'm not saying I'm old, but Moses still owes me lunch money. So
Moses still owes me lunch money. That's great.
Oh man. Okay. So in a gotcha, is gotcha what the okay. Does gotcha
Gotcha is the theme of of today. First it was the assassin thing where they were playing the gotcha game, and now it's gotcha.
Yeah, but is this like a magazine or something?
I think it might be.
Well, I think they're just saying in a gotcha headline. It was a headline that was meant to be a gotcha moment.
Okay, because it's like one of the I hate the way some stuff is written, because that to me is the way that they write
the way that they italicized that and put an exclamation after it made it kind of odd. But yeah.
Okay, the New York Post ran a front photo of a plane hitting one of the two twin towers in a fireball. Here's your something, it proclaimed. President Trump himself couldn't resist scoring some points against the Democrats, tweeting, "We will never forget," alongside a clip of 9/11 interspersed with Omar's speech. Remember how I said earlier this is an expensive article?
It's paid by the word article. Yeah.
That's just, it's one of those. It's a lot of words I can't say. It's okay. What's the word that Bear can't say? Oh, what is it? Bloodwing, what's the word Bear can't say?
Which word?
I can't remember.
Context is all. As it is so often is, Omar mentioned 9/11 to suggest that it has been unfairly used as a pretext to treat American Muslims as, quote, second-class citizens. She seemed to intend her comment to mean that a small number of people who who happen to be Muslim committed a terrorist attack, but they cannot be used to define all Muslims.
That's
This
not
is
what
one
she
of those
said.
rare
Minimalization
cases.
at its best.
This is one of those rare cases where context don't mean a thing. If that's what she meant, that's what she could have said. But that's not what she said. It's
not
not
at
the
all what she
context
said.
of it that people are having a problem with. It's her wording of the event.
Yep.
Even the rewording of the event is worse.
You know, and granted, I was very much an adult through 9/11. It's and of course that's, at least for us Americans, that's one of those things that you remember exactly where you were, what you were doing, every little detail about it when it happened.
I woke up thinking it was a radio show prank because
Yeah.
it was 6 a.m. and it was the Kevin and Bean show in L.A.
And after that, yeah, there was a big uprise in hate against all Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I will admit I have a friend who now lives in Egypt. I was originally told he was kicked out of the country for different reasons, but he later told me no, his family had to run because after 9/11, everyone just hated them.
Yeah, and the car dealership that I worked in at the time, in the garage, we had a very high number of Middle Eastern people. They weren't all Muslims, but you know, some white trash don't care.
No.
If you look like one, then you are one
Yeah.
in their mind. But yeah, they completely disappeared off the map for a good long time. Our Middle Eastern customers didn't poke their head out for quite a while.
Yeah.
And
when I was in the Navy, I didn't. To be honest, when I was in the Navy, I did not see any. It was weird. Like thinking back, on my ship, we didn't have any. We had black guys, brown guys, white guys, but no Middle Eastern people.
Yeah.
The closest you got was like me. Everyone else was like complete Southern Georgian, all from the South. It was odd. And being a Canadian in the U.S. Navy is one of the weirdest things you can be. There was a Russian there was a Russian on my boat.
You know, and so in that respect, she would have had a point.
Yeah.
You know, in that respect. But like you said, context in this issue doesn't matter. It's how she described the event. Doesn't matter what her intent and what she was saying was. It's how she described the event. And it was just so dismissive that it just really made people angry, myself among them.
Pink Hollow, Cuban Dally wants to know what your rate was.
I was just the bosun's mate. I should have been a gunner's mate. And before that, I should have been GSM. Well, GSE. But that's a story for a different day. I don't tell that story that much. It was pretty fucked up and doesn't make the Navy look too good. But yeah. But yeah, no, I was a bosun's mate and it was fun. That was the fun part. Yeah. And I was Gator Fleet. I was the Gator Fleet. So I played with Marines. Next question. No offense, I really don't talk about that. I don't like to talk about it that much. It was a weird time in my life.
So okay,
it was a great rate, but you know why. Anyway, let's just keep going.
There was a Russian on my boat.
There was. He was like me. He was not a U.S. citizen. He was actually a Russian citizen, and he was on our boat. He was deck department. He was 1st division. I was 2nd division. I can't remember his last name, but I'll never forget when he climbed out of his rack at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you just hear him unzip and piss all over one guy's entire rack and clothes next to him, zip up and hop back into his rack.
Why?
He was that drunk.
Oh, the Russian dude?
Yeah.
Was he looking for the nuclear vessels?
No, he just rolled out of his rack, pissed, and then hopped back into his rack.
Sounds like my uncle.
And then there was two underage came in and I just came off watch. I tripped over them, had to pick them both up, put them into their racks. That was a constant. It's just drunken degeneracy. And that was the same dude that got robbed in Georgia. That happened a lot. You go into port, you get robbed. Don't talk. Little tip for any new guys that want to go into the military: when you go into any port, never agree with the local that you should go anywhere with the local. Ever. Never do it. You will get robbed, and they will leave you with nothing. Had a guy come back in his boxers once.
Jesus.
It gets brutal. Yeah, it's interesting. Where was I? Okay, so reactions panned out mainly as we might expect, with most Republicans critical of Omar and most Democrats supportive of non-committal. Rhoda McDonald, chair of the Republican National Committee, labeled Omar, quote, anti-American.
She is.
She is.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris tweeted that President Trump's use of Omar's slip has sown, quote, hate and division. And Nancy Pelosi tweeted that President should not, quote, use the painful memories of 9/11 for a political attack. Fuck you. Are these women serious?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. How can you be this serious?
They're just very unself-aware that Omar was doing the exact same thing. And all Trump did was just retweet her comments and put it in context. Yeah, they're just that unself-aware.
Yep. And it's terrifying.
That is insane. It's not good to see this. It's never a good thing. The divisions among everybody. Let's see here. The most charitable explanation is that Omar's choice of language was probably just careless, depending on what she meant it by it. Almost 18 years after the attack, she can perhaps be forgiven for not continuing to express outrage at any time she happens to refer to them. I doubt she had any outrage when it happened.
No, there's a difference between not like getting as whipped up as you would say like the year after or something like that.
She was 22 when it happened.
No, but okay, but there's a difference between like not getting as enraged as you might have in the few anniversaries after and saying so callously that, you know, some people did something.
Yeah.
You don't use that language anytime. Like that's like saying, you know, the Holocaust was just some people did something.
Yeah.
And you don't use that language.
Let's look to who she was talking to. CARE has been labeled a terrorist organization, or at least an organization that supports terrorism in different places around the world.
Yeah, and the National Action Network is actually rather racist in itself.
So
I went through their website the other day.
I have absolutely zero doubt that she was speaking directly to her audience.
Yeah.
She knew who she was talking to. Wasn't expecting it to be picked up and carried outside of those walls. And she got caught.
This is true. However, as a controversial politician, she should realize that every word she utters will be scrutinized, unfairly sometimes, but that is the nature of the game she's in.
Yeah, if you're in politics, you're a public figure, and public figures, like it or not, are fair game. Everything you say, do, wear, everywhere you go is going to be reported on.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Go back. There we go. Okay, let's see. Chat. Now, it really does sound like a comedy set in the Cold War. It does.
Yeah.
It really does. The more sinister explanation is that, like many in the Muslim world, she is a 9/11 conspiracy. What? She's a 9/11 conspiracy theorist, and she chose vague language simply to avoid letting this become known?
Okay, that's just... No, that doesn't... No.
To dispel any such suggestions, she should make a forthright and public statement expressing no doubt that it was Muslim extremists who flew those planes. Let her call them unrepresentative if she chooses.
I don't necessarily think she's a 9/11 conspiracy theorist. I do think that she doesn't want to say that it was Muslim extremists, but I don't think that it's because she's a 9/11 conspiracy theorist.
I think it's because she's a Muslim.
Agreed.
You'll never get her to do that.
I think that that's kind of that's a little bit of journalistic, and I use journalistic very loosely.
And chat before you get all up. Oh, Bloodwing hates Muslims. No, I'm not saying that, but we all remember, or at least those of us that are old enough, remember that immediately after 9/11, while we here in America are all grieving, plenty of Muslims were having a party.
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. The speech itself was not very articulate or well prepared, and she probably didn't get much thought to the wording of the part that became controversial.
Probably
the theme
not.
was advancing justice. And her speech said little beyond the predictable pleasantries such a topic is likely to extract. Huh? The theme was advancing justice, and her speech said little beyond the predictable pleasantries such a topic is likely to extract. What pleasantries are predicted in talking about advancing justice?
I'm having a hard time figuring out what angle this author is coming from, because in the first half of this article, they sounded like they were in support of Omar, and now they sound very derisive.
It's like they're trying to be by
It's like they're trying to be bipolarly biased.
There we go.
They're I don't know what they're trying to do with this piece, but
personally, I think they're being paid by the word.
I think they are. This is
not
thesis.
like this is the tragedy that is journalism. This is a perfect example. However, in one part, she said she laughs at people who criticize Islam and said, "I couldn't care less about their opinion." There is no reason she should care, but she should also stress that she supports the right of people to criticize Islam.
Bipartisan, says
That's the word I was trying to figure out.
Bipartisan. Yes. That's much more intelligent.
The right of people to criticize Islam without being considered Islamophobic. That is a bullshit. Because anybody who criticizes Islam, according to them, is Islamophobic.
Yeah.
Even by her own words.
And that's racist, even though Islam is not a race.
Yeah. She also made a strong statement about what she suggested without convincing evidence is a systematic prejudice against Muslims. The crowd applauded when she said that people have always worked on finding a way for every civil liberty not to be extended to us, and added, raise hell, make people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That hurts. People have always worked on finding a way for every civil liberty not to be extended to us. Raise hell, make people uncomfortable.
Well, imagine my
That is not a site to political fucking violence whatsoever.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a little scary because when a Muslim says that, I wonder if they're talking about a suicide bomber or something, you know. Way to go, Habib, but you can't do that again. Yeah. Of course, the crowd applauded. Like I said earlier, she knew who she was talking to. She knew what her audience was, and she was talking to them, what they're going to want to hear, what they like. She just didn't expect that this would find its way outside of that incident. And
no. That's just insane.
Oh, shit.
Do you do you have the measles article?
What?
I said, do you have the measles article?
I do.
So we have a measles outbreak in York region, which is about honey, what, an hour away from us?
Where? York?
York
I was just
region?
up there yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
York region.
there's a measles outbreak
Come on.
about an hour away from us right now because fucking people don't want to fucking vaccinate their children. Sorry, Bloodwing. I know you don't swear very much, but here on the coffee stream, when Blind Press gets angry,
You've heard my stream. I'll let people talk the way they want to. I turn a deaf ear to it. Doesn't bother me at all.
Oh, this is let's see here. Where's it?
Yeah,
Moose
anti-vaxxers are among the most stupid of stupid.
Yeah.
Just a little.
As
They
a
don't make any
Euro,
sense to me.
as a
Like,
Euro fag, you guys don't know how good you Yanks have it. Says name not found.
Oh no, we in America we understand how blessed we are to have First and Second Amendment rights, and
Yeah.
we're very well aware of it. Most of us are. That's why many of us that do what I do what we do. Say no, you're not taking that away from me.
let's see, did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Hey, it worked. All right, cool. Yeah, so this is interesting. Public health officials warn residents of possible measles exposure in York region. Now, York region I was just there. It's an hour and 25 minutes away. Just down the highway. It's just on the other end of Toronto. Let's see here. What the heck is this? What is this article? So it's a confirmed case of travels measles, according to so York Regional Health, South Lake Regional are working together to notify individuals, exposures. So yeah, this is just a posting, honey.
Okay, so
It's a confirmed case from travel related measles in York region. Now I did get a DM from someone else in our wonderful crowd, and that would be Bloodwing. Have you ever gotten anything delivered to you from Gunfox?
I know Gunfox. I never have. No. I know him mostly through Bear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he has this horrible habit of sending us terrible articles that make me mad. I was gonna say,
what did Gunny send you this time?
Mom who bought chocolate for. Okay, this involves an evil mum with an MUM.
To a British mom.
Yep.
It can't be as bad as can't be as bad as Suit Yourself's Twitter.
Evil mum who bought Snickers for children before murdering them, jailed for 19 years.
Jesus.
Oh, Gunfox. Why do you do this to us?
Gunny's mind is concerning, says Skepta.
He has seen too much. Elena Korimova,
so a Russian
daughter Kadiza, 4 and sons, I guess that's Solomon, but Suleiman, 2 and, oh, come on. Gunfox, no.
Really? You're gonna give us a story where the kids are our kids' ages? You suck, dude.
Basically, she bought them Snickers before she did bad things to them. And they are no longer with us, and it is sad. That is all I'm going to say. There, Gunfox, it went up, okay?
Yeah. Not Russian, Eastern European Muslims.
What about you, Bloodwing? Anything weird from your neck of the woods?
I haven't even looked at the news today.
See, I tell Blind every time she goes to set these things up. The one thing she's got to remind the guests of is what I suggested is you should bring 2 stories. Everyone should have 2 stories. Because then you get some really fun stuff, because you never know, right? Because you'll find things that are worse.
I do got one thing that we can talk. I actually meant to talk about this on my stream yesterday, but
let's go for it.
It forgot. I was listening
to Steve Yzerman trending on Twitter.
Yeah. While I was traveling to my psychiatrist appointment the other morning, I was listening to Bob and Tom on the radio. And they mentioned this article, and I've looked it up. I guess there's a product now called the consent condom.
Oh, this shit. Yeah.
And what it is it's in a package that it takes 4 hands to open.
Yep.
Wow.
We covered this. We covered this last week. And my question of this is, what if the person is missing a hand? Are they supposed to use their foot? Because you can't use your teeth and you can't use scissors. How do you open it?
Yeah.
That's not very what's the word? Accessible inclusion. That's not very accessible inclusion seeker.
There's a funny one. Did you hear that one, Bloodwing?
What's that?
Monkey covered it on Monkey in the Morning and on Lords of the Night. The D word.
Disability or disabled is
Oh,
now
disabled?
going to be a
No.
D word.
I'm crippled. I'm crippled, and I'm with Monkey. I seen him tweet about it. It's like, no, dude, I'm crippled. There's just nothing wrong with that word.
Oh, but the
Well-
non-crippleds think it is.
Well, because I've actually had sighted people tell me I shouldn't say that I'm blind because that's mean.
Even though you're the definition of blind.
But I'm like, but I
Well-
am blind. And they're like, but
Well,
you should
what's the-
say.
What's the matter? Can't you see their point of view?
Well, they're like, you should say visually impaired. And I'm like, but that
No
would
fucking
mean
way.
that I have vision to be impaired. What's up, honey?
Oh, okay. We have a Florida man situation,
Oh
but
no.
in Toronto. Breaking news from a Florida man situation in Toronto. See if I can find the actual article. A man that called 911 and claimed he was stranded on the Scarborough Bluffs was taken into custody on Friday morning after allegedly trying to steal a fire truck that responded to the scene.
What?
Yeah, I'm trying to find an article. This is the headline I just read.
And what are you going to do with that fire truck when you're done with it?
So he called for help, and then when help came, he tried to steal the vehicle?
I'm bringing it up. Let's get something good. This was just at the top of Twitter. Man calls 911 to be rescued from Bluffs, then tries to steal a fire truck.
I'm thinking there's not too many chop shops that are going to take a fire truck. You know,
Actually,
what are you going to do with
there's
it?
like 5 within a local area that I've seen that have fire trucks that are being ripped apart currently. So it's kind of weird. I drove past one and I'm like, why is there fire trucks in that wrecking yard? But the man didn't get far before he was apprehended, according to police. This is from 9:18 this morning, so 3 hours ago.
Andy knows his name.
Firefighters found themselves in an odd situation Friday morning after a man who called 911 to be rescued from the Scarborough Bluffs allegedly tried to steal a fire truck. The emergency call came in shortly before 8:20 a.m. This just fucking happened. Holy shit. 8:20 a.m. according to Stephen Powell, a district chief with Toronto Fire Services. The man told dispatch he was stuck on the bluffs, but his cell phone died before he could provide a specific location to police.
Okay.
Firefighters arrived at the top of the steep cliffs near Sylvan Park, and a Toronto Police Marine unit searched for the caller from the water. While emergency services on the scene were occupied with the search, the man allegedly tried to get into a fire truck and drive away, said Toronto Police Constable David Hopkinson. You think you've seen everything, and then this call comes along. I don't even know what to say. The man was quickly stopped and taken into custody. Hopkinson explained. Police are mulling over a possible public mischief charge in connection with the incident.
Yeah,
it's like grand theft fire truck.
You're not going to make a getaway with a fire truck. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, they can go pretty fast once they get rolling, but they're not real quick out of the hole.
That's
Name Not Found says, I wish I had a fire truck, if only for the water cannon.
Yeah. I just can't fathom what he thought he was going to do with it, if he even got away.
That's the thing. Where was he going to go? And I'm just imagining a dude. They're going woo, 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 as he's driving to fucking make the signs. They open the door. What are you doing? I'm pretending.
The Maniac Man 2030 has a very valid point. Their turning radius is pretty garbage. Yeah.
It's crazy. That's oh wow. Okay, so and then now we have Mueller's report is worse for Trump than Barr let on, but likely not as ruinous as Trump feared. Ruinous? Oh boy. The narrative spin game is on. How much will it matter? Oh, by the way, this is from CBC. Now, what I said earlier about CBC to someone was it's our CNN.
It really is.
Okay, so basically they write everything the exact same way that CNN is written. So like take a listen to this and you tell me it doesn't sound that way. It was May 17th, 2017, and US President Donald Trump slumped in his chair in the Oval Office. Quote, "Oh my God, this is terrible." The president fumed upon learning of Robert Mueller's appointment as special counsel to lead the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election.
I'm
Quote,
sorry, is this
"This
a
is the
novel?
end of my presidency. I'm fucked." End quote.
Wait, this is a CBC article?
This is a CBC article.
Are they writing a novel?
Well, I've seen this accounting through a couple of sources. Not sure where they get it, and
Is
how they
this a
think that it
fan
actually
fiction?
handed.
Says Cubanelli. Yeah, I know, right?
I'm not sure where it comes from, or how they claim to know that actually happened. But
Oh my God, I just
quoting
downloaded
the
the Mueller report.
Says Skeptalk.
Wait, what?
So Skeptalk says they're quoting the report. So what was there like a microphone in the White House in the Oval Office that heard him say, "This is the end of my presidency. I'm fucked"?
Yeah. Well, Skeptalk, I'm sorry. I'm not going to read a 448-page report.
I just downloaded it, apparently.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, I'm going to have to read it now, but I'm not going to read it now. I'll read it later. So goes the account in Mueller's 448 report, released to the public late Thursday morning and immediately devoured by lawyers and political observers who have been waiting 23 months to read it. No, we haven't been waiting 23 months to read it. We've been waiting like 2 months to read it because we just found out about it. But even as the redacted report promised to become one of the most scrutinized government documents in modern American history, laying out an unflattering story of Trump's questionable conduct, the president's apocalyptic vision of his time as commander-in-chief has so far not materialized. Probably because it's not true. And there's little reason to believe that will change.
Do a live reading 72-hour stream.
It would take about that.
I will do it. You know what? I'll do it. If people will read it, I'll do it, but I'll probably get like struck down harder than... I'll have to do it on a throwaway account.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right, cool.
Like I would have to do that on a throwaway thing because I would probably get yanked down real fast. But yeah.
Skeptalk says yes. Apparently, one of the people who was interviewed testified that to Mueller's people. Oh, okay.
Now, the people that testified, were they under oath? This is the big question I've always had. Do it on D Live. I might do it on Twitch just to get a certain individual's attention, but I don't know. I can do it on Twitch while I'm gaming. There we go. Blind, you can sit there and game for 72 hours while I read the Mueller report word for word. I still have to read Charles Dickens, which is floating around here somewhere. Where is that book?
Which Tale of Two Cities?
I think so. My leather-bound edition.
Ethical safety man.
What's it?
Yes, they were sworn, says Skeptalk.
Okay. Alrighty.
God, your chair sounds terrible.
What?
Your chair sounds terrible.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't get a nice like chair like you do.
I'd watch that with the sound off. Is all you need.
Well, I would make it work somehow. Let's see here. What can I do? Let's see if blank page, redacted. Let's see here. There's actually, let's see, first page. Well, there we go. Introduction to Volume 1. This report is submitted to the Attorney General pursuant to 28 C.F.R. subsection 600.8 copyright, which states that, quote, 8. The conclusion of the special counsel's work, he ...
I'm bored already.
Exactly. That's why I don't want to do it, and I will want to kill myself probably by here, page 2. Just for this paragraph, in evaluating whether evidence about collective action of multiple individuals constituted a crime, we applied the framework of conspiracy law, not to concept of collusion. Nope, not reading it. I will sit and I will read it, but I won't read it. I will not do a dramatic reading of the Mueller report. No, thank you. That will put me to sleep, or I'll put a bullet to my head. Let's see here.
Volume 1.
I'll wait for the cliff notes.
The cliff notes, yeah.
I just closed my other story I had. But more damning than the Barr memo, particularly damaged legal scholars say, is the second volume of the report that addresses the question whether Trump's activities during the Russia probe amounted to the federal crime of obstruction of justice. We learned, for example, that prosecutors scrutinized 11 different actions by the president as possible evidence of obstruction. 6 Trump actions that Mueller investigated for possible obstruction of justice.
What is this, a BuzzFeed list?
This seems like it would be. Number 1, Trump asks FBI chief to let his national security advisor off the hook.
Okay.
The FBI had been looking into Russian interference in 2016. Number 2, Trump pushes for his security chiefs to clear his name. Number 3, Trump fires FBI Director Comey. Number 4, Trump attempts to remove Mueller. From the moment Mueller was appointed as special counsel in May, Trump was on edge, stating that at one point, according to the notes taken by Justice Department aide, this is the end of my presidency. Everyone tells me if you get one of these independent counsels, it ruins your presidency. It takes years and years. I won't be able to do anything. Oh, that's the rest of the quote. Interesting. Substantial evidence indicates that the president's attempts to remove the special counsel were linked to the special counsel's oversight of investigations that involved the president's conduct. That's from the Mueller report. That's where they're getting all this stuff from. Okay. Trump tries to limit Mueller's report. Okay. And Trump tries to suppress public release of emails about Trump Tower meeting with Russians. I thought that was found out to be bullshit.
Well, that doesn't stop them from reporting it as if it's true.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
No. This was this whole Mueller report is interesting to watch, though, from the outside perspective. To watch it from a different country is like watching a circus.
And I get it. I know I'm not alone. It's getting very tiresome at this point. Very, very tiresome, because no matter how much it comes up that there's just nothing there. You know, Trump has done nothing illegal, and all of that they're going to keep harping on it.
I know I ask this a lot, but why does everyone hate the man so much? Like, seriously, like from day one.
Easy.
Because he beat their little darling.
I get that, but why was it that it was such hatred beforehand? This is the weird. It's just this is where I hit my head on the wall, because I just can't find the rationale behind it, and I think that's the problem. Is I'm trying to think of it in a rational way, because it doesn't make sense to hate this guy. I've watched what he's done over the years. Well, I haven't seen anything actually wrong. I've seen shitty business practices, but that's about it.
Well, specifically during his period of reality TV, he made great pains to make himself come off as a butthole, you know, and I think that partially carries over into their outlook, on what kind of person he is. But more than anything else, it's because he beat Hillary, and not only did he beat Hillary, he beat her in such a surprise and fantastic fashion that they can't get over it. because they were so sure there
it
was
was
no
only
way
a
he was going to
surprise
win.
to them, though.
Do what?
It was only a surprise to them. Like,
That was the other thing, because we were all saying he's going to win.
I was sitting there. My family was. It was so funny because I'm like, Trump's gonna win. They're like, no, he's not. I'm like, yes,
Honestly,
yes,
I got to tell you that at the time, I didn't think he was going to. I thought it was going to be close. I was like, oh, geez, we're going to
I thought it was going to be closer than it was. I'm not going to lie.
We're going to have Hillary as a president. No.
I did think it was going to be a closer vote than it was, but I had a feeling that Trump was going to win, especially after I watched those debates. I was like, yeah, they were kind of a shit show, but Trump still made her look really bad.
Yeah.
And he kind of gave her a rope, really. He didn't have to do much in those debates.
Skep Talk, I've called her Hillary ever since she come out into politics herself. From the moment she stepped out from being more than just the first lady. Yeah. Shut up, Cryptic. But yeah, I think that is the majority of it, is because they're just still shell shocked and they can't get over. They just can't believe that they beat that he beat their precious Hillary. So yeah.
All these people that they tout all of this. We shouldn't hate. Yet she's one of the most hateful people in existence. That's like I said. My head's on a wall with this. This part is where I hit my head.
I know this is something that's easy for me to say, and it can't be proven. But when Bill Clinton first come on the scene, when he was running for president, even before he won the presidency, I remember looking at them and looking at her, and I said, I don't know what it is, but that something about that woman scares me.
Was it maybe the laughing at Gaddafi?
No, this was when he said before that when they just came on the scene.
Yeah, even before he won the presidency, I'm like, I don't trust that woman.
No, you could see the demons in her eyes. You could see it back then. You could see it in the 80s when she was when she was doing the law stuff. Any of the old footage you see of her, you can see she's destined for evil. She never should have gotten as far as she did.
Yeah, name not found says I wasn't born when Bill was running. Yeah, I'm an old fart. The first presidential election that I voted in was Reagan's first term, and yes, I voted for Reagan, and I'd do it again.
Well, who was your opposition at that point? Who was it between Reagan and who?
Carter? No.
Oh my gosh. If you hadn't asked me, I would have been able to tell you.
Everyone remembers the winner, but no one remembers the loser.
Yeah, my heads went blank. It's that old man memory thing.
Skep, who was it?
Was it Carter? It couldn't have been Carter.
Yeah, I think his first term, it was against Carter.
So you made the right choice?
Yeah, I mean, I've always said about Carter, and I guess it's arguable about who our worst presidents and so forth were.
Carter was like Walter Mondale.
Carter's a very nice guy, and he does a lot of really good things, like Habitat for Humanity and all that.
Okay, Reagan beat Carter is what Skep Talk says.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was a terrible president. Just awful. Just which is just proof that nice guys don't make good presidents. They don't.
And then he had to beat out Walter Mondale for the second term.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I was right about something again. Holy fuck.
Well, let's see if the North Irish
North Irish, huh?
The North Irish Police Department with their pot of gold and their leprechauns hiding in their big army trucks. We believe this to be a terrorist attack. Police.
That's a terrible Irish accent.
It's a Northern Irish accent, and they're terrible people, so we're good. I don't like the Northern Irish.
So they think it's IRA again, or?
I don't know. Police say after Lyra McKee killed in Londonderry. This is that journalist that was shot yesterday. This is as of an hour ago, by the way. Police in Northern Ireland say Friday they believe the dissident Republic group, and the new IRA,
the new IRA
was probably responsible for the fatal shooting of a journalist during overnight rioting in the city of Londonderry, also known as Derry. Oh, this happened overnight. There was a riots. I woke up to this on Twitter and I was kind of in a haze when I read it.
This would be really odd if it is the IRA again, because they've been really, really quiet for a very long time.
Unless Brexit. The police service of Northern Ireland said 29-year-old journalist and author Lyra McKee died after she was shot during rioting in the Cregan area shortly after posting a picture on Twitter of the violence, which she described as absolute madness. Assistant Chief Constable Mark Hamilton said a gunman fired a number of shots at police during the unrest Thursday evening. We believe this to be a terrorist act. We believe it has been carried out by violent dissident Republicans. Our assessment at this time is that the new IRA are most likely to be the ones behind this, and that forms our primary line of inquiry. A murder investigation was launched, but there have been no arrests. Hamilton appealed for calm to prevail on Easter weekend. Sorota, a political party with links to dissident militants, said in a statement it understood McKee was standing close to police and was killed accidentally by a Republican volunteer. What?
How do you what? Because your volunteers just randomly go around killing people?
Police told Reuters they do not believe McGee was working at the time of the attack. The new IRA is a small group of Republicans who reject the 1998 Good Friday Agreement that marked the Irish Republic Army's embrace of political solution to the long-running violence known as the Troubles.
Oh, okay. So it's
more than 3,700 lives.
It's a splinter group then.
Yeah.
Splinter. Yeah. That makes more sense.
But they're against the Good Friday Agreement. That's fucking
Which
morons.
makes sense as to why they're attacking now.
Well, yeah. Well, they happened overnight, right?
Yeah.
The group is also blamed for a Londonderry car bombing in January that did not cause any injuries. It is regarded as the largest of the splinter dissident groups still operating and has been linked to several other killings in the past decade. There has been an increase in tensions in Northern Ireland in recent months with sporadic violence, much of it focused on Londonderry. Rising star of investigative journalism. God, come on, brain. I need more coffee. McKee, who was named Sky News Young Journalist of the Year in 2006, rose to prominence in 2014 with a blog post describing the struggle in Belfast. British Prime Minister Theresa May called the death of McGee shocking and truly senseless. It really is. Described by her publisher Faber as a rising star in investigating journalism, McGee's death was condemned by both Irish nationalist and pro-British unionist politicians. Wow. A local journalist at the scene of Thursday's shooting, Leona O'Neill, wrote on Twitter that after McGee was hit and fell beside a police Land Rover, officers rushed her to hospital where she died. Videos posted on social media showed police vehicles being pelted with what she said were dozens of petrol bombs, bricks, bottles, and fireworks. That's a pretty bad riot scene.
Yeah.
We are all full of sadness after last night's events. We cannot allow those who want to propagate violence, fear, and hate to drag us back to the past. Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar said in a statement. Seamus Dooley, Irish Secretary of the National Union of Journalists, said he was shocked by the death of a journalist.
Sorry. Skiller says the People's Front of Judea versus the Judean People's Front. He's not wrong.
An eyewitness told the BBC that a gunman fired indiscriminately into the crowd during riots on the crowded Cregan housing complex. Okay.
Let's hope this doesn't signal the
Oh,
rise.
sorry, Alamo
of-
Gulf Citizens.
Oh, hey, I might have been right about this.
Let's hope this doesn't signal the kind of violence that we did see through, what did they call it, the Troubles? Because
Yeah.
I lived through that, and it was pretty bad over there for a very long time.
I remember hearing about it because, well, here we don't get that violence, right?
Right.
We get biker violence here. That's the worst we got. Yeah. So, like, here's an article from February. Torn apart by Brexit, Northern Ireland residents fear border could reignite violence. So yeah, so that would explain it. But we're nearing the end, so we're not going to read that article.
Yeah, I'm Skiller too is the one that says wait till they blame the rise of the IRA on Brexit.
Well, they already did.
And then Alamo Gulf Citizen was the one that said the Judean People's Front of Judea joke.
Name not found. Wait till you get old, you'll say it too. Pick on me all you want.
Actually, you do. I've started doing that too.
Because there is a real difference between living through a situation and reading about it in a book or watching some YouTube video.
Like, anybody that was born after 9/11 won't understand. Actually, if you were born after, like, if you were still a young kid, you wouldn't understand. But I was my senior year of high school, and I lived in the flight path of LAX and Orange County Airport. For that week, or was it 2 weeks? I can't even remember. There wasn't a plane in the sky. Not a single plane.
No.
That
was eerie. It was
eerily quiet. The only thing I ever saw flying was one black helicopter from the Orange County Police.
It was really eerie here because I live very close. Well, they've moved it since, but very close to the airport, to the Indianapolis airport. And I mean, the noise of the airport it was just background noise for us here because it was constant and we were used to it. I mean, when I say very close, I mean within a mile or two.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. It was just quiet. It was like you didn't realize there was so much noise until it was gone, and you're like, wow.
Yeah. to not see any of those big planes flying, because I was like, we were about 10 minutes from John Wayne or the Orange County Airport. So they were flying really low over us. So to not hear that for 2 weeks, that it's and like you said, you get used to it. You notice when they're gone. You don't notice when they're there.
Yeah.
But as soon as that disappeared, I would go outside and I would sit there and I would look up at this clear blue sky and not a noise except for the birds. And that was where fear actually would set in. It wasn't the attack. It wasn't anything that did that. It was the after effect that made everybody fearful.
As far as the IRA goes in the 70s and into the 80s, I mean, it was nearly daily. There'd be something on the news of another car bomb or another firebomb in Ireland.
Right.
It was very, very extremely violent and a lot of lives lost.
We had the biker wars going on here during that time, and they were blowing up like pizza places and shit here with pipe bombs. With the Angels in Choice when they were backlashing back and forth between Ontario and Quebec. And it was the same kind of thing as what they were dealing with in Ireland, except it wasn't for like political reasons. It was for biker reasons, but it was still a freaking war zone.
Yeah.
It was terrifying in the 80s and in the early 90s. A lot of people don't understand it, but you don't want to live in those areas. You don't want to live and deal with that shit.
No.
9/11, everybody was affected more so. I was in high school in Southern California. We lost a teacher on one of the planes. I know people who have told me they've had members that they knew that there were plenty. We've all, within one or two people, you'll know someone who lost somebody close in either the towers or the planes. 3,000 people is a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a small town.
Yep.
And it was a weird, eerie. I mean, I remember the whole day I was running around grabbing every TV I could and hooking it up in every classroom I was in so we could not miss a minute of what was going on. And when that second plane hit, that's when we knew something was wrong.
Yeah, I actually seen the second plane hit live on TV.
Yep.
I was working for, like I mentioned earlier, for a car dealership, and one of the customers come out of the waiting room just looking pale and shaking, and said, "What's wrong?" And said, "Well, a plane has run into the Twin Towers in New York." And at that point, nobody knew what was going on.
No, we thought it was an accident.
Right. So like, really? Oh, well, let me go see this. So I walked in, and everybody's just glued to the TV set. And just seconds after I walked in, the second plane hit.
I was in 7th grade when it happened, and the first thing I asked when I heard about the first plane, I went, "What, on purpose?" Like, that was...
Everyone knew. No, that was the same reaction everybody had. When they saw the second plane, that's when we all knew. And then we heard about the Pentagon. And then we heard about Pennsylvania. And that's when everybody clicked.
And how was it during World War One? I'm not that old. Thank you.
That's Skep you got to ask about World War One.
But if I was, you'll have to ask Skep about that.
Do that on Wednesdays or tomorrow night. Or tomorrow at this time. Yeah, that's right. Don't forget that, since we're getting near. Star Trek streams move to what time tomorrow?
Pardon?
Star Trek stream.
Yes, tomorrow Star Trek stream is going to be at 2 p.m. And we are talking about the Maquis, which is the first two-parter in Deep Space Nine, which I need to watch the second half of. And also, go watch Redneck Radio tomorrow, starting at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, and Bloodwing's channel is linked in the description of this stream. And don't forget to come back for the Blind and the Special Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll have some more articles and some more fun for everybody. I hope everyone had a great time today. I sure did, and I thank Bloodwing for coming on.
Do you have a show today, Bloodwing, or are you taking the night off?
Do what?
Do you have a show in half an hour?
No. Saturday.
No, just Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
That's right. It's Friday.
It is Friday. Well, like I said, I haven't had a job in 4 years, so I lose track of what day. My live stream is the only thing that keeps me knowing what day it is.
Yeah. Yes, Skep, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central for the Star Trek stream tomorrow. And remember, guys, next Friday is call-in day because it's the last Friday of the month. So keep that in mind. And I hope everyone has a really, really great day. Stay safe out there. If it's sunny where you are, go out and enjoy it because it's piss pouring rain here. So
yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah, we got the rain here too.
I wanted to go fishing.
Thank you, Gunfox, for the Streamlabs donation. I will go check it out, and I will read it out loud on the Star Trek stream tomorrow.
Well, you can't check it right now. We got time.
Will actually. Okay, yes, I will
check the damn thing. He puts so much in. He is our number one supporter.
Check it.
He is our number one supporter, and he is awesome for this. So nobody run away yet. Everyone stay put.
Yes, let's
get the hell back here. You leaving the room. Come back here. Sit down. Sit back down. Sit down.
Let's see what Mr. Gunfox has to say. Let's see. Log in with YouTube. Yes, please.
Oh, don't you love that?
Oh, that new thing pissed me right off. I went to donate to P-Dog this morning, and it came up with this window that was new, and I went to pay with PayPal. I went, well, select PayPal. You must be a member of Pro to use this login. The fuck did that come from? When did this change?
He was raging at his
computer. I was pissed.
Or at his phone.
And then I'm like, okay, so I go into my Streamlabs and it says, oh, you have to connect your credit card. I'm like, I've never done that before.
I get ticked at stuff like that. Like you guys know, when you start a live stream, you hit start stream and then it gives you that, are you sure this is what you want to do? I'm like, shut up. Of course I am.
Oh, it's getting to be terrible. You find it yet?
Okay, so thank you to Gunfox for the $5 donation. with the message. Come on. Fucking no, Chrome is laid out differently.
Yeah.
Mom, oh God. Gunfox, you're gonna make me read this out, aren't you?
Remember, this is a direct quote from
Muslims-
Gunfox. This is not meant from you.
Muslims are heretics. They must be purged. Start the crusades. All hail your God, Emperor. Get your chain swords and flamethrowers ready. It's time for war.
And there goes the stream. Flagged.
Okay,
Remember,
then.
you have to read that stuff.
Thank you very much, Gunfox, for the $5. And with that, everyone, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks to Bloodwing again. And we'll see everyone tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Drive safe,
Bye, guys.
everybody.